They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA was finally hitting its stride, poised to ride the Caitlin Clark wave to greater relevance and real financial momentum, they stumbled badly. The league's rising star and ratings powerhouse, Caitlin Clark, has now landed on the injury list, putting a damper on what felt like a breakthrough.
That star, Caitlin Clark, will be out at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Clark reported some pain in her leg Saturday after the team's loss to the New York Liberty. She subsequently underwent an MRI and was diagnosed with the strain on Monday.
Basketball fans are in full meltdown mode, talk shows are spinning out, and Stephen A. Smith? He's practically levitating with outrage, aimed squarely at the WNBA, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and especially Angel Reese, who still seems to believe the spotlight shines just as brightly on her. If you're with Stephen A., drop a baby goat, Joe, or Joe baby giraffe, damn when the
year last season, and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points in the league, leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last one. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that young lady can ball. She is special. What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, right? Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out?
Caitlin Clark, the phenom who transformed women's basketball from a niche obsession into primetime, must-see TV, is now sidelined with a quad strain, out for at least 2 weeks. That's 2 long, Clarkless weeks where the WNBA will try to pretend everything's fine while the on-court product wobbles like Angel Reese on a fast break. Picture it. The league's biggest draw sitting in street clothes as TV ratings plummet like a rock in a kiddie pool.
The celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson: be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword: shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may.
The first to lose his mind over it, of course, was Stephen A. Smith. ESPN's resident hype machine didn't just react, he went straight to DEFCON 1. While others around the league offered up their best polite shrugs, Stephen A. came in like a human Molotov cocktail, torching every weak take and bad decision that brought us to this point. And honestly, someone had to say it. Everyone else is out here whispering pleasantries and pretending Caitlin Clark isn't the reason their paychecks cleared on time.
Reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know it, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do, knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying I know for sure what's going to happen, but I have an idea.
Stephen A. didn't just speak up. He took the mic like a man who'd been waiting months to unload on the WNBA's cluelessness. While league execs were out to lunch, pretending Caitlin Clark isn't the one keeping the lights on, Stephen A. was busy handing out receipts like party favors. He broke it down with the clarity of a math lesson and the flair of a fireworks show. "Oh, you think the league can thrive without Caitlin Clark?" he basically asked. "Cool story, bro. Check the numbers and try not to..."
Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. 4 teams moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. That's about Caitlin Clark. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, an Indiana league led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year.
Let's break down the numbers, shall we? Caitlin Clark's games this season are averaging 1.178 million viewers. Without her, that number crashes to just 394,000. That's not a dip. It's a nosedive off a cliff. We're talking a threefold collapse in viewership. And yet, you've still got players like Angel Reese questioning why Clark gets all the spotlight. Maybe it's because Caitlin doesn't treat the ball like a bowling pin. And maybe, just maybe, it's because she actually gives people a reason to...
You asked me that, Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Stephen A. didn't just wake up angry. This was the boiling point after months of watching the WNBA squander golden opportunity after golden opportunity. He's watched legends like Cheryl Swoops toss shade like a beach umbrella, acting like Caitlin Clark isn't single-handedly dragging the league into the national spotlight. And of course, Angel Reese couldn't resist turning every headline into her own personal audition for America's Next Jealous Teammate.
When you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Then there's Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, whose entire approach to the Caitlin Clark phenomenon could be summed up as, thanks for the ratings, I guess. It's like stumbling upon a genie in a bottle and using your wish to slightly upgrade the bottle. Now that Clark's sidelined, Stephen A. is practically shouting, "I told you so" from every rooftop, and honestly, he's earned the right.
With at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the 4th different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her. I'm looking at other things. 6 different league television partners. This is last year. This is last season, because this is Caitlin Clark that we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records that year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games, including the Indiana?
Stephen A. even dropped some classic truth, saying, if this is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA and her absence proves it, then everyone needs to stand down and ride the wave. Translation: stop resisting. Caitlin is the show. Either get on board or get left behind in half-empty arenas while confused fans wonder where all the energy and the audience...
Tide lifts all boats. And if this is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence over the next 2 weeks due to that quad strain is providing further evidence of that, then everybody needs to accept it, stand down, and ride that wave. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the ratings are going to look without her over the next 2 weeks. Let's make sure we come back and ask me this exact same question after she's been gone for those 2 weeks.
Let's rewind, because the lead up to this mess has been a textbook case in how not to manage a league. Caitlin Clark's debut this season against the Chicago Sky pulled in a staggering 2.7 million viewers, the highest-rated WNBA game on ESPN ever. It was so massive, even the NBA had to take notice. And no, it wasn't a fluke. It was the entrance of a generational star who showed up with hard proof, record-breaking viewership and jersey sales that outpaced half the league combined. So how did the WNBA respond? With adoration? A marketing blitz? Nope. We got boilerplate press releases so bland they could have been ghost-written by Angel Reese herself. It was like the league was scared to admit that one player had done more for their brand than the last. Stephen A. watched it all unfold. Caitlin's star was shooting up, but the league kept downplaying her, and the veterans looked at her like she'd snagged the last slice of pizza. Now the WNBA's in full panic mode, scrambling to fill the gap left by the one player who can pull in an extra million viewers just by tying her shoes. That's the point. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another top draft pick. She was the league's lottery ticket. Instead of celebrating that, they tried to minimize it. Now the ticket's temporarily out of circulation, and suddenly everyone's realizing her true value. Meanwhile, Stephen A. is sitting back like, I've been telling y'all, you can't build a castle and then act surprised when the queen moves in.